talking about games that are coming out this week, well, actually, there aren't that many. If you've got a Vita or a PS3, Invisimals, the next version of Invisimals is out.
I don't think that's a word.
Well, it's made up by Sony.
Okay.
It's basically a augmented reality pet game. So
I see.
it's one for the kids.
Yeah.
Better on Vita, because obviously the Vita has the camera built in.
There's a TV show as well, isn't there?
I believe so,
There's
yeah.
all sorts, yeah.
Yeah,
You can take a picture.
It came out, the earliest version of this came out a long, long time ago.
I think you can pause the TV show when there's a character on screen and then take a picture of it using your Vita, and then that character appears in the game.
Right.
What?
What?
Sell it to Facebook for $2 billion.
Mine. I've got this idea.
But I don't think it's fair to say it's not really our kind of bag here on IGN.
Sure.
Bag.
You don't like to take care of things. We know that.
No. Well, I struggle with myself, let alone anybody else. So. Also out, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, which you know a little bit about, Cooper, right?
Yeah, but I previewed it a little bit. I think each series loses something in the mashup. So certain systems, certain things you like about each series is kind of lost in the mix. But the writing's charming and brilliant and funny.
See, the draw for me would be Professor Layton. I don't care as much about Phoenix, right? So.
Yeah, but that's just buy a Professor Layton game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't need the mashup.
Yeah.
But we gave it a 7.8 on IGN. Better movies coming out this week, though.
Yeah, two reasonably big movies, Captain America and Muppets. And for once,
is that the first movie? Because that movie sounds amazing.
yeah, they both lose something in the mashup.
The writing's great.
And for once, I've actually seen both movies.
Okay, let's start with the
get
Muppets.
out.
Start with the Muppets.
I loved the reboot of the Muppets.
Yeah.
What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
This as good or
Not quite as good,
Right.
I would say.
It's
and I'm
more
a
like a
huge
traditional-
Muppets fan. There's something about it that's not right. I mean, it's funny, the story's okay, the songs are good, there's some really good cameos in this one, but something about it doesn't hold together. There was a warmth to that reboot
Yeah.
that's not quite there in this
I think
one.
there's a self-awareness in the reboot that
Yeah.
the Muppets aren't a big deal anymore, and the movie was about making them a big deal.
Yeah.
Whereas this just seems like they've gone straight into a script that could have been around 15, 20 years ago, really.
Well, it's like the Great Muppet Caper, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's suddenly it's not about them existing as performers, and they're trying to make it. It's
They've
sort
almost
of,
gone back into what they've always done, which
Yeah.
I think is a bit of a
Tina
shame.
Fey's great. Ricky Gervais gets some good laughs, and there's a couple of great cameos in the prison, in the gulag, I think.
Yeah, they really play to kids.
Yeah, no, they're for us. Two tough guys. That
It's not Jasper Carrot, is it?
Robert Powell and Jim Bowen.
We gave it an 8 out of 10 though. And would you like to hear the verdict from IGN?
Go on then.
Muppets Most Wanted is a fun, joyful film that once more reminds us why the Muppets are so wonderful. The human stars are clearly having a blast, and with great jokes and incredibly catchy songs, Kermit and the gang again show why they're such enduringly lovable characters.
That's too long for a tweet. Is that the tweet thing that you can click on the bottom of the page? That's too long.
It's
That's
the
too long.
verdict. It's the verdict. So yeah, it's good, but
Yep.
to be honest, you don't need to see this one on the big screen, I don't think.
Okay.
And then Captain America.
And the Muppets.
The Muppets and the Winter Soldier. Croops, why don't you take it away with that one?
We were talking about it the other night that Captain America isn't perhaps the most interesting character in the Marvel
To you.
universe. To me, he's just American. Isn't he? No, but he's the guy who wants to be a hero, and then he became a hero, so it all kind of worked out for him, apart from everyone else dying.
That's the American dream, right?
That's the American dream. But what they've done is they've put him in the kind of a conspiracy thriller, the kind of Robert Redford movies in the 1970s. 3 Days of the Condor, Parallax View, all those kind of movies. So he's in a more interesting situation, and in a situation where everyone is deceitful and untrustworthy, he's like the moral centre that you can hold on to.
And equally,
He's a superhero in it. Like the stuff he does in the movies, incredible. Like it's not like he's an Olympic level athlete. They make him more super heroic.
Right.
and I agree with Dan. I think he's a bit of a bland character. So what they've done is they've made the movie a three-hander. It's Black Widow, Nick Fury, and him.
Yeah.
It really is all three characters,
really
and so
it's an ensemble
and they're
thing.
more interesting people.
I wasn't so keen on the Falcon. I just think
No, I guess he's not in it that much, really, is he? He's kind of introduced midway through and gets a couple of scenes.
See, for me, the real potential in something like Captain America is the same thing with Superman, right? Like, even though the powers are sort of problematic, it's the intersection of sort of the idealism with the world that he
And that's what they're
inhabits
that
I think has real potential for drama for that character. It wasn't
obviously.
But equally with Superman, he gets the Clark Kent persona, whereas Captain America doesn't get to do that. Where
A superhero doesn't need a...
Clark Kent makes Superman more interesting, whereas the Captain America can only be this goody two-shoes.
Well, and that's what I liked about the first half of the original Captain America movie, is sort of like him kind of struggling to come to terms with what he believed about the world and the world he was actually in. And then the second half of the movie got rid of all of that.
That's a big part of this film as well, isn't it?
Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's happened, a lot of topical stuff in the news with America, Edward Snowden, all that kind of stuff they are filtering into this movie in a big way, touching on it all the time.
Yeah.
And also, it's a really good plot and stuff that it doesn't feel like an incidental movie before the Avengers. It feels like stuff that happens in this movie is going to have major ramifications for every other Marvel movie.
Yeah, we can't.
So it's like, you need to see it.
We can't talk. We can't talk about this here.
Yeah.
We're going to do the superhero show spoiler cast on it all, but I think what we can say is it's a huge game changer for the universe.
Wow.
Everything will have to change now.
And some great Easter eggs. So
some good Easter eggs. So yeah, we've given that a 9 out of 10.
In like 2 weeks.
So
Yeah, do you want to go see it with me? Daniel and I are going after this podcast.
well, I think we've got some work to do.
Oh, well, okay.
I
We'll tell you all about it.
I haven't. I'll come.
But I'll totally go see it again. I only saw it last week, so that's a good sign.
Yeah,
So if you're going to do one thing this weekend, go see Captain America.
agreed.
What if you're going to do things?
And if you play one thing this weekend,
I'd still be playing Ground Zeroes.
fair enough.
Yeah.